Daybreak USA on the Coast to Coast IRN USA Radio Network, also on the World Wide Web at daybreakusa.net. She is enamored of a vampire who is a private detective. He is somebody that remembers her when she was just a child, and he saved her life, and now he's torn between the love that she feels for him and he for her, but he's a vampire. She's a human. How can it last? Well, you know what? It made it to the favorite show of the People's Choice Awards, and now after the writer's strike has come back strong, we're talking about Moonlight. Its star, Alex O Loughlin, returns to Daybreak USA. Alex, nice to talk to you again.
Good morning. Nice to talk to you.
Man, congratulations on what seems to be a show that's hitting its stride. How does it feel for you and Sophia?
It feels terrific. It's been a really tough year, and we've certainly been held back from hitting our stride, all year. And, they've just given us little bursts here and there to try to kind of survive the storm, but we have, like you
yes,
said,
you have.
We've weathered the storm, and we've also received a couple of little things little pats on the behind along the way, like the People's Choice Award and stuff. So it's testament to the show that we have here.
Absolutely. And, when we spoke to you last year as the show was kicking off, a unique take on a storyline that has been told in many different ways and forms. And without mentioning the litany of shows that have always chronicled the vampire with a heart of gold, I think that what it is that Moonlight has managed to mine, and in my view, from watching it and also the responses of others who blitzed us the last time we repeated our last conversation. I mean, we got emails that would warm your heart.
Oh, that's great.
When we repeated the interview that we did with you last year, and folks were like, "You talked to Alex O Loughlin? We had no idea he did radio." And we said, "Hey, listen, Alex, we're friends. We go way back, a few weeks, and so we knew we had to give them warnings that this conversation was coming up." And I say all of that to say what you guys have fashioned with the Mick St. John character, how much design has gone into downplaying all of the gothic darkness of the vampire mythology and fashioning this love story that you guys have with Mick and Beth.
It's what we wanted was to make a vampire show that was accessible to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the show is not about vampires. It's actually what it is it's a character-driven drama.
Yes,
that's what the show is. It's a character-driven drama about love and truth. It just so happens that your lead character is a vampire. It so happens to be based in that genre. It also happens to have a procedural element.
Yes.
A cop as well as a PI as well. And these are sort of they're not by the by, but they're really important facets of the show. However, they are facets of the show. And so the where I base my performance doesn't lie in vampirism. It doesn't lie in that genre. It lies in truth and naturalism, in drama as we know it.
Yes.
And so it's as well as you were just saying, Mick has his heart of gold. Well, sometimes he does, but the other thing is, pardon the pun, but he's only human. He doesn't necessarily have a heart of gold all the time. And really, the reason he became a PI was, it's to help other people, but it's all for himself at the end of the day, so he can close his eyes in that freezer and sleep another day without killing himself, because this thing's bigger than he is.
Well, that torment is palatable. You play it well. The love affair that is growing between Sophia's character Beth and you reached an interesting point last week when, after being human for a brief period of time, you had to be turned by your good friend in order to save my Beth, as your character said.
Right.
How much fun to take it in that direction, because, again, that's one of the reasons why I think it has now, coming back from the writer's strike, really hit a really good stride.
Yeah, it's funny, my that little line said my Beth, that was an improv line. It came, in the script it was written, he has Beth. And he was talking obviously about Anders, the guy who had kidnapped her, and my Beth just came out of me being in the moment in the scene, and living in Mick there for a moment. It was just in that moment I I don't even remember it happening, but when we were shooting, I was just thinking about how much I love this woman, and so I can't even remember the question now. You just made me think.
Well, you know what? I think I was talking about the way the relationship has grown and the way it hit a new high in last week's episode, and now knowing that was an improv moment, that really sold that scene, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's where I knew the core of the scene without, it's not that I knew that I would say that. You never know anything like that, but I knew that that's where the heart of the scene was, that in that moment, I didn't know how the scene would play out with Jason either. I mean, it's his own actor, but we have a wonderful chemistry and complicity on screen, and so whatever he gives me, I give back, and vice versa, and so I feel very safe with him.
Well, I like what Jason's doing with his character Joseph, and the byplay between the two of you is great. Tonight's episode involves Mick coming to the aid of a Hollywood starlet, and she's being threatened by the paparazzi. And I think that for those of us that sometimes see the paparazzi as being a little bit out of hand, Mick giving them, a bit of a throttling, I think is something a lot of us might like to see. Anything that of course, Eric Winter's returning as Benjamin Talbot. How much fun is that to have that byplay? Because there looks to be a little bit of tension between you two.
Yeah, it's great. Look, I mean, Eric's a fantastic guy. He's a terrific actor, and he's got a great character on the show. He comes and he brings something new to the show. He really fills the shoes that Josh left behind, in one way, but he also facilitates a bunch of other things that you're going to come to learn as the show progresses. I don't want to say too much about it because there's some really important.
Oh, no doubt. We don't want to give it all away. Suffice to say, I saw Sophia on Craig Ferguson last night. We would love to. Hey, put a bug in her ear. We'd love to have her come on and talk with us.
Okay, yeah. I didn't even know she was on Ferguson.
Yeah, she did.
I have to YouTube that.
Yeah, you do, because she did a good job. She talked about being a vicar's daughter.
She's a vicar's daughter.
Yeah, a PK kid, PK. So I thought it was really good, and it made me want to talk to her that much more. And, of course, for everybody that's big fans of yours, they will be tuning in tonight to Moonlight, CBS, and much continued success to you, man. We're big fans of you around here.
Thank you so much. I really look forward to speaking to you again, man.
Same here. Take care.
Okay, you too.